Good morning, America. My name is John, and I am the traditional liberal. By now, I'm sure most of us have seen this meme in one form or another. Unpopular opinion. Feminists actually respect men more than pick-me tradwives do. Tradwives reduce you to a paycheck and a bodyguard. They want a tool, not a partner. Feminists demand more from you. They want emotional intelligence, shared responsibility, and an authentic human being, not a provider robot. Stop confusing submissiveness with respect. Feminists are actually the one wanting to share the weight of the world with you. Let that sink in. Now, the first thing that really stands out to me here is holy pick me. Don't pick a tradwife, pick me instead. I'll respect you more than someone who makes respecting you a core aspect of their life. I have a feeling that the irony of this was completely lost on the creator of this meme, but it is palpable. But let's examine this a bit more. A paycheck and a bodyguard. So that's what feminists think a trad husband is, eh? They missed leader, moral center of the family, head of the household, and emotional rock. Just a tool, not a partner. The feminist expects more from me? Really? No. The feminist expects me to do dishes and laundry. The trad wife expects me to be a good leader and role model for my children. I'm expected to be strong and steady, to guide my family through difficult times and celebrate the good times. I'm expected to model the kind of man I want my son to be and the kind of man I want my daughter to marry. But let's go through this whole thing point by point, okay? A feminist version of emotional intelligence is a bit of a mystery to me. They often say it, but never seem to define it. But I can easily define the tradwife's version of emotional intelligence. I'm expected to teach my children by example that bad things happen, but we pick ourselves up and keep going. That it's okay to be mad or sad, but that doesn't excuse not doing the things that we're supposed to do. Emotional regulation is huge to a tradwife. Because I've said it before, an emotionally dysregulated man is dangerous. Feminists say that men and women are equal in all things, but a tradwife knows the man is statistically much stronger and therefore has to control himself for the safety of those around him. Okay? Shared responsibility. Feminists talk a lot about 50-50, and I've talked about it before. 50% of the housework, 50% of the bills, etc. But in my experience, that just doesn't work. It's never exactly 50-50. Someone always does more of one thing and less of another. And if you really try hard for 50-50 and track it, keeping score will always lead to arguments and resentment. A trad wife and trad husband split things very differently. We share the responsibilities of life, but in a very different way. She cooks the meals, I pay the bills. She vacuums the floor, I fix the deck. She does most of the childcare, I do all of the yard work and home repairs. We share responsibilities based on our strength, not some idealized fantasy of splitting every task down the middle. If she did half the yard work, then half the yard work would be done poorly and slowly. If I did half the cleaning would be done to a lower standard and certain things just wouldn't get done. We shouldn't fight against our strengths, we should lean into them. That is a real partnership. And it's how businesses work too. They don't split every task 50-50 between the CEO and his partner. One handles certain things and the other handles other things. That's just how it works. So then it's an authentic human being, which is so vague and in this context nonsensical. So I'm actually tempted to skip over it. But I've been in feminist style 50-50 relationships before, and they didn't last because it was always a battle. I am more authentically me now than at any other point in my life. And my wife refuses to let anyone change who she is, which is why she's a trad wife. This is not an act. It's not an aesthetic. This is authentic. Submissiveness is not respect, but it is only given to someone that she respects. If she was not submissive to me, then that would mean she was denying a fundamental part of her personality because she didn't think I deserved it, and she would leave. Submissiveness is absolutely a sign of respect because you cannot be submissive to someone you don't respect. That's called subservience, and it is not the same thing. Feminists are actually the ones wanting to share the weight of the world with me. No. They reject the nature of things and force us to be exactly the same, even though we aren't. When I come home from a long and difficult day at work, the weight of the world gets lifted off my shoulders. My home is clean, fresh, peaceful, and filled with love. Dinner is ready, the kids are happy to see me, and I get to relax. And that weight I carried, they make it worth it. This meme actually just shows that the feminist wants the strong traditional man. She just wants him to get on her program. She wants to break him. But when she does, she'll lose any respect for him she may have had and leave. So do feminists actually respect men more than pick-me trad wives? I'll leave you with a quote from feminist Valerie Solanos. To call a man an animal is to flatter him. He's a machine, a walking dildo. And that's all I have for you today. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to hear more, and comment below your thoughts. Thank you, and good night, America.